Hello guys, I'm making this video to show fitting a BR limiter. So it's basically an explanation video to show fitting the limiter on a Honda Civic EP2, which is what I uploaded a video on a few years ago on my channel. So it's not actually too bad to fit. They're a fairly simple wiring to get them going. But the only thing is I haven't got the car anymore. I sold it a few years ago. So I haven't got a simple way of showing the wiring. I've only got an explanation which I've written down here. So essentially, they're a very simple way to get them going. I mean, realistically, they've got the signal wires, the ignition cut wires, and the power. So it's on the limiter box itself. It shows as red for positive, black for negative, white is the RPM2 signal wire, and then you get the, I believe it's a green wire for the ignition cut. So with the Honda Civics, they have a four-way harness because they're individual. So the first thing you need to do is once you've got the limiter box, you need to take it out. Make sure the switches are in the correct position if you've got the 30th anniversary edition. The other ones may be different, but my one was a 30th anniversary. Not sure if you can still get them. So once you've got that set, and you've got your four-way adapter and a couple other bits and pieces, then you want to be looking at, you need to solder the four-way harness onto the green wire, ready so that it's ready to fit. So once you've got that done, you need to then be looking at the wiring on the car, which I've got written down here for the ECU wires. So on the ECU, the furthest left side is plug A, on the furthest right is plug E, so it's just alphabetical A, B, C, D, E. You mainly want to be looking at plug A and plug E, because plug A houses all the ignition wires and plug E is the RPM signal, which is what you'll be using. So on the ECU, you need the brown wire, the white and blue wire, blue and red wire, yellow and green wire. They're your ignitions, like the ignition coils. White being the main colour with a blue stripe is the easiest way I found to remember it. So on plug E, for example, is a solid blue wire, and that's your RPM signal. So once you've got the basics figured out, it is as easy as on the four-way harness, you need to attach it to these four wires on the ECU. It doesn't matter which order you put them in. It is completely irrelevant. They all do the same thing. It all cuts at the same time. So you can, once you get them attached, which I did, splice the wires with wire strippers, automatic wire strippers I used. Just wrap the wire around and then solder it together. And then you can use insulation tape, just tape it up, or you can use heat shrink, whichever's easiest. Once they are attached, it is then as simple as attaching the RPM signal wire, which I believe was the yellow wire on the BR limiter, which I've got this here, which if you was to pause and screenshot, it shows you which wires do which. And then you've also got the Rev 2 setting on the limiter box. So that was the white wire. So I had mine set up so that you had Rev 1 is basically off. I set that real high so it didn't ever cut. And then Rev 2 I set to, I believe it was 4, which gave me the right RPM. I can't remember exactly what RPM that was, but it was set perfect with the gain, which the gain is how fast it cuts the ignition. So you can set it so it's real slow or really fast. I set that to A, and I found that gave me the best results. It, made a fair bang. So once you get that set up enough so that you can run it. So once you just run the power, I ran that off the cigarette lighter, and I ran the switched wire off the handbrake. So basically one click on the handbrake was on, put it down, it was off. And that was the easiest way I found anyway. So once you've got it actually fitted, it is as simple as with your switched wire, depending on if you put it on a switch or where you want to put it, you just flick that on, hit the limiter, makes a lot of noise, and then you just turn it off, carry on driving as normal. You will need a decap pipe, because if not, it will blow the cat straight out the back of the car. But they're not too bad. Like, actually wiring it, it's very difficult to explain through writing. The easiest way, really, is to show fitting it. So if there is anyone out there who's local to Cambridgeshire, if you was to let me know, drop a comment, and then I can speak to you privately. We can arrange it so that I can do a video fitting it for you. So I'm happy to fit one for free so I can make a video out of it to show how to actually do it properly. And that would be the best way, really, to explain this. So I did actually write a little wiring diagram. 1 second. On here. That's on this piece of paper. So, as I say, the wiring diagram is very rough because it's not really my forte. So you'll have your blue wire to plug E, yellow is your RPM, positive, negative, and your white switched, which I put on a handbrake. Then you've got your ignition green onto your 4-way harness, tapping into the 4 ECUs. So to actually wire it up is pretty simple, but again, it is very difficult to show on drawings as such. It's not the easiest thing to do. I have also had people asking me about the white clocks, which I had fitted at the time I did the video. I can show how to do them as well. Again, if someone wants me to, if someone wants them, I can do a video, explain how to fit them, and fit them for you for free. It's not a problem. But then that way I can make a video of it. As I say, I haven't got a car that I can use. But yeah, it is pretty simple. It's not the best explanation in the world. As I say, throughout this video, I am showing these different pages. So at any point, if you do want to pause it, take a screenshot, whichever's easier. I am also fairly active in the comments, so any questions, drop them down there. But they are a relatively simple system. But as I say, anyone local to Cambridgeshire who wants me to show them different bits and pieces, I'm more than happy to. They are a car that I owned for a long time, and I figured out many different tricks, different bits and pieces about them. So yeah, if there is any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll see what I can do. And if you do want one fitting, just let me know and we can organise something, get one fitted. They are, as I say, it takes about an hour or so to get one of these fitted and up and running. So they aren't too bad to do and they don't take too long. But that way I could make a video and explain it properly with actual, showing how to fit one and showing the results before and after as well. Because you can tuck them away up under the foot panel on the left-hand side where the ECU is. And they are pretty, you can tuck it all away. You can make it look very tidy. Depending on where you put the limiter box as well, depends, it can make it, I had mine literally sat on top of where the steering column cover sits. So it was just blinding you in the face as soon as you hit the limiter. There was a bright red light. But I found it went well. It was easy to adjust anytime you wanted to. I may be looking at buying another one. If this gets a bit more traction and gets a bit more movement, I will look at buying a Honda Civic so that I can show all the different bits and pieces that anyone wants to know with one of them. Because as I say, I had one for a long time. I know how to work on them. I know all the different bits and pieces with them. So, yeah. As I say, any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll try my best to answer. And anyone who wants a few bits doing, just let me know and I can make videos of them so I can post them on this channel. But that's all for now. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.